Good morning or good day, good evening, whatever time you are in when you're watching this. I hope you are well. I know that I have been very MIA, but with good reason, because this is kind of sort of a moving in vlog for my house. I'm currently sitting in my bed in my new bedroom. It is Sunday, like I think it's before 8 a.m. in the morning, and yeah, I moved in late Friday night. And when I say late Friday night, I mean the movers left around like 9:30, 10 p.m. So I really didn't do much of anything Friday except, I don't even know, weep. I was so exhausted and so sweaty, like I couldn't even really enjoy it. I just got in the house and went to bed. Like that was really it. But I slept like a baby last night. So things are looking up. Things are looking up. And also, I can't find Band-Aids, so yes, this is painter's tape that I'm using on my finger. But hi! I took off the next week to basically help myself get settled in. So I'm gonna be pretty productive, or at least try to be. Honestly, I don't know how much reading there will be in this vlog, but I will try to incorporate some reading. I think for the most part right now, what I've been able to accomplish is like audiobooks, because I can do that while doing other things. So yeah, but hi. So what have I been reading? Honestly, not a whole lot. I think I read 2 books all of June. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. But I am currently listening to The Duke Undone by, I think her name is Joanna Lowell or Joanna Lovell. I will correct that on the screen, whichever one it is. But it's like a historical romance. It's set during the Victorian era, which is my sweet spot for historical romances so far. And I think it's a bit of an enemies to lover type plot. I'm not good with figuring out tropes for the romances. I think that's what this one is though, where there's this young woman who is an artist, and she's like middle class, working middle class, and she happens to stumble across this very naked dude. And yes, that is the correct Victorian slang. This very naked dude, like in an alleyway, smelling of like alcohol, and she can't get the sight of him and his nakedness out of her head. And then she ends up using him as like a model for something that she sells, not knowing that her model is actually like a duke, hence the Duke Undone. And he's not too thrilled about being painted and immortalized in his birthday suit. So there is that. And basically at this point, they're like both attracted to each other, but they're also kind of both blackmailing and using each other to accomplish certain things. And so that's kind of where I am. I'm about 40% in as of right now. So that's probably what I'm going to be listening to today, to be quite honest, because more unpacking to do. What I want to focus on now, though, is actually kind of getting some of the boxes that I have in my bedroom out of my bedroom. So essentially, I have stuff for my bathroom that I need to put on this adorable little bathroom cart that I got, and organize that. And then I have like another box of just stuff that was in my bedroom that I need to figure out like what's gonna stay in here, what's gonna be like put in my nightstands, what needs to be like put in other rooms, or what needs to be put like in storage until I figure out what the heck I'm doing with it. So there's a lot to figure out. I'm going to try to do some of that up here this morning. And then also try to figure out some of the stuff in the living room, because that's another room that is, well, it's a disaster area. Not as bad as the kitchen right now, but that's a clip for another video, or a clip for later in the vlog. Oh man, it's giving me anxiety. But anyway, that is what's going on here. If you're curious, those are paint samples that I am looking at for this particular bedroom. I'm actually going with the middle one, which is the Farrow and Ball Jitney color. I am not paying the Farrow and Ball prices. I can't justify, I think it's like $130 for a gallon of paint. I can't justify it. So what I end up doing is getting a bootleg version of it, which is I have Home Depot do a color match for the color with, I think it's Behr paint. I actually did that with the office/library, and it actually was very close. It's not exact, but it's close enough that it still has the effect I want it to have. So I'm gonna go with that. The other two are both lick colors. That one's just too pale, and this one I think is just a little too brown. So yeah, that's what's going in here. Probably one of the things I'm gonna do this week while I'm off is like go to Home Depot and order the two colors of paint that I know I'm gonna use. This one and one in the living room. So that's something on my list. I also think I might go to an antique store, because I really want to get a big mirror, and that seems like the place to go. But yeah, that's what's happening now. So I'm gonna try to be productive and also turn on a fan again, because it's kind of hot in here without one. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys when there's more to do. Probably a few time lapses and things. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy the moving in / decorating / reading vlog that I think this is going to be. So yes. Okay, going to go do things now. Bye. Hi there guys, it is 1:15. It is lunchtime, so I've decided to come down into my kitchen and eat some lunch. It's a salmon salad my mother gave me, because she said that it was like an easy thing to just like fix, and she figured I'd be too busy to cook. It doesn't look super appetizing even in person, but I'm gonna put it on crackers and see how it goes. And before we go any further, yes, that is a mountain of boxes behind me. That is theoretically where a dining table will go. I do not have a dining table yet. It was not considered one of my high priorities, just because it's me alone and I have an island with bar seating. So that's a future Brittany problem. But I literally have half my kitchen taken up by boxes and garbage bags and things. The good news is I hired the Got Junk people, and they're gonna come on Tuesday and take it all away, which is great, because otherwise it would be such a hassle to like pull this stuff to the curb over weeks and weeks. And seriously, it's making me anxious. It's like, I know it seems like really sort of melodramatic, but I feel like it's causing all sorts of like anxiety and mental health, like just it physically makes me uncomfortable to see. And you see it from the living room, and there's a big window that I have a curtain on that I've put there because like anyone on the street can see all of this chaos. And so it's a bit much, but that'll be gone Tuesday. I also want to try to unbox more things and declutter a little bit. I know a lot of people declutter before they move, but a lot of this stuff was kind of in the nitty gritty. Like, I was decluttering my makeup collection upstairs earlier, but yeah. So, yeah. But in other news, what have I been doing this morning? I basically got the main bathroom and the bedroom, my bedroom, into some sort of functional order. I like figured out the closet and the dresser and figured out the bathroom and storage, and it's just like both of them no longer have boxes or bags really in them, so they're usable space. Is it pretty right now? No. It's very bare bones. I don't really want to start hanging art or anything like that until the wall color's up, which will hopefully be done in the next few weeks. So once that's done, I can start really figuring it out. I also need to kind of spend some time really mood boarding the bedroom because I haven't, and I want it to feel like an oasis. I want to plan it out because I have the luxury of being able to plan it out because I'm basically starting fresh. So yeah, that's also something I need to do. But this is the move-in life. So while I was doing all of that, decluttering and stuff, hold on, I want to actually try this. You know, it ain't half bad. So while I was doing all of that, I was listening to the audiobook. It's about 60% in right now, and you're starting to see more of the physicality of their relationship. They haven't consummated, but there has been steam. He's very much the misunderstood, like, bad boy type, and she's like the hardworking, loves her family sort of girl. So I'm interested in seeing where that goes, but so far I'm really enjoying Lucy and really enjoying the Duke of Weston, Anthony. And what else? That was really it as far as reading goes, because I was really trying to make progress with things. But yeah, now it's nearly 1:30, so what I'm gonna do is, eat my food and then spend a little time like mood boarding for certain rooms, namely the bedroom and the office/library, which I want to show you, and I will. It's chaotic, and you'll see why when I do show you. But kind of figuring out those two spaces, like ideally in my head, so that I can do some stuff, and then I'm probably just going to spend some time and make a proper dinner because I have not broken in the stove yet. I think I'm gonna make a vegetarian pad thai. Otherwise, I think I'm just gonna take it easy. My hope is for the rest of the week that I can really spend like the morning and early afternoon focused on doing house stuff, and then actually the afternoon kind of get to relax and enjoy being in my own space, take the time to cook meals, watch TV, read, mood board, shop for things. I've babbled enough, I think. So what I'm gonna do is eat, and I will check in with you guys at some point later on. Bye, everyone. Hi, guys. Me behind the camera to give you a preview of what will be my office and library. As I mentioned earlier, it's kind of sort of a hot mess. So I've had some issues getting the washer dryer installed. So this is where it's living until, fingers crossed, and I mean seriously crossed, Friday they install it. They've been here twice, and twice have not successfully been able to do it for two reasons. First, because of the lack of a vent, which I got rectified. Then because the door was a smidge too small, so Dad had to demo it. But this is the space, and this is the wall color that I had this room painted. It, like the rest of the house, was white when I moved in. So this has been painted. These are the bookshelves that were always behind me, without the shelves, obviously. So yeah, the color is called, I'm calling it Sulking Room Pink, which is the name of a Faro in Ball paint. So I did a color match, and it's not exact, but it's pretty darn close. So it's like this dusty rose kind of pink that's like a little bit on the deeper side without being dark, which is what I wanted because I think it goes really, really well with the cabinets. I still need to figure out this room and mood board it, but basically all those boxes there are my books, which I won't attempt to really rearrange this room until such a time that the washer dryer is no longer there. Good evening. It's like, I want to say 6:30, although I could be lying. Not that you care now that you're watching this vlog whenever I edit it and upload it. But I just made myself delicious pad thai with no meat. I do eat poultry and seafood, but I haven't eaten red meat or pork in over a decade, and I personally don't enjoy cooking meats or poultry or anything like that. So when I cook, I tend to cook more vegetarian often than not. But the food was delicious, super, super filling, and I'm gonna be eating it for like the next week because I made way too much. So lesson 1 of living on your own, you need to pay attention to the serving size. But yeah, so that happened. I'm currently in my living room, although there isn't really much for you to see because there's just a wall behind me. The plan is for the rest of the evening to maybe watch Netflix and kind of hang out down here, and then eventually make my way upstairs. I'm trying to savor the last season of Peaky Blinders, which I've been saving for the move into this house. So I watched episode 1 last night, bawled my eyes out, people, because Helen McCurry, rest in peace, she was and still is one of my favorite actresses, very underappreciated, and her as Aunt Polly is just incredible. So having this season where she's not there is heartbreaking on so many levels because of her passing. So I'm gonna watch the second episode of that once it gets a little darker, which isn't gonna be for another 2 hours really, so it's still fairly early. But while I was cooking and while I was eating, I did listen to a bit more of The Duke Undone, and I'm about 75% of the way, so I have a feeling I'll probably finish it tomorrow while I'm doing more house stuff. I'm gonna start tackling the living room next. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it, and I saw that Joanna Lowell actually has a second book. I think it's called The Runaway Duchess, maybe? But it seems to be in the same universe of characters. So it's not necessarily a series, but characters that appeared here appear in that one and are the focus there. So depending on if that's an audiobook that's available or not, I might listen to that. Or I might see if any of the books that were on like my May TBR are available as audiobooks, because I didn't really read many of them. Same thing for June, really didn't read much. So I've got some catching up to do, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I think it's because I really am invested in both characters' stories. Like, obviously there's the romance, but they both have these like backstories that are really compelling and kind of sad. And so seeing them work through some of that in the hopes of maybe being able to be together is nice. But that's where things stand currently. So I'm watching something called Pirate Gold of Adak Island. I don't even know. I just have it on in the background, so we'll see how that goes. So I don't know that I will check in again tonight, just because I'm gonna kind of keep it low key. I don't think I'm gonna read anything more tonight. Just kind of sit around, play on the computer, watch Netflix, and that sort of thing. So likely the next time I'll talk to you is tomorrow, which is Monday, July 4th. And yeah, all right, guys. Ciao for now. Hello. Oh, the light is fabulous here. Happy Monday? It's the 4th of July here in the US, so nobody's working. For me, it's just been another day of trying to get things in order. My next task, should I choose to accept it, is going to be rolling out the rug in the living room. So that's what I'm gonna do after I check in with you guys. But I did finish The Duke Undone earlier today, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars and promptly went to see if the second book in the series was available as an audiobook. I had to put a hold on it, but it says available soon, so fingers crossed that I will read that soon. But yeah, The Duke Undone, I like what they did in addressing some of the social issues of the time. Like, so it was talking about some political stuff with like housing, it was talking about like alcoholism, it in particular talked a lot about mental health, so I would say there's like a trigger warning for that because of mental illness as well as suicide, and there's like gothic stuff going on, which I eat up because that's largely what my thesis was in uni. So looking at the ways in which mental health was like weaponized against women if they did not behave in a particular way or did behave in a particular way, and how families could like use that against them. So that was all a really interesting take and angle, considering that it was a overall lighthearted romance, and I just really enjoyed it. I loved Anthony and Lucy, particularly Anthony, but that's just a me thing. I will say that there was a lot at the end. The end kind of lingered for a little while. Not that it wasn't enjoyable, but I did notice that about the book. So maybe that's why it didn't end up being a 4.5 or a 5-star for me. Anywho, we're going to start listening to Tanta Anna, I believe is the name of the book. I'll put the image somewhere here, which I own as a physical book, and it's set in Berlin, I think shortly after the fall of the Berlin Wall, and is about an aunt and her niece and their relationship and stuff like that. So I have the physical book, but I saw that it's available as an audiobook right now. So that's what I'm gonna start reading, listening to next. But in the meantime, in the meantime, I am going to, I think, eat a quick lunch and then deal with the carpet situation, and then probably call it a day, with the exception of, like, I have some stuff that I want to take upstairs, and so every time I go upstairs I'm just taking a couple things so I don't have to do back and forth because these steps are steep, man. Definitely getting my steps in. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll check in a little bit. Hello. So I just laid a rug on my own and I am exhausted, but the living room now looks decent. There's still a lot that I want to do to it, but I figured I would show it off. If anyone is interested in like a tour officially, let me know. But I figured I'd show you where I'm at least with the living room as of right now. So let's do that. Okay, guys. This is the living room and the boxes of doom, unfortunately. But this is what we're working with currently. So a couple things. In this corner right here, I think I'm gonna get a little poof, maybe in a similar color to that, to bring the continuity over here. But I'm also toying with the idea of maybe going with a green, because that's what these walls are going to be painted. You can actually see the color right there. That is called Farrow & Ball French Gray. It is very much green though. And then these walls look super bare, which drives me crazy. But after I've painted, I'm going to basically mirror. I'm going to mirror the shape of my sofa and chaise and do a really, really big, a really, really big gallery wall. I don't know why that word was escaping me. Over here, unfortunately, there's a fan in the way, but there will be art on this wall. And I'm contemplating putting like a light fixture up here, one that I don't need an electrician for. Obviously, I still need curtains and the like. Over here, I have stuff that still needs to be put out. And then my fireplace, excuse that stuff. I'm really envisioning a big mirror there, and then layering like pieces of art on it and stuff like that, and really making it the focal point. But yeah, I am absolutely wiped out after laying the carpet, because I kept having to move the couch to shift the carpet like a few inches or an inch or two to get it exactly where I wanted it, because I'm like crazy that way. And so by the time I was done, I was very, very sweaty and gross. So I think that is the extent of my house stuff today. But I'm looking forward to kind of just relaxing on my couch and probably editing this vlog for a little bit and then eventually watching some TV. I don't need to cook because I have so much pad thai left over that I'm just gonna eat that for dinner. And yeah, that's kind of the plan. While I was doing the carpet stuff, I was listening to the audiobook. Sorry, I think I said Tanta Eva or Anna. It's Tanta Eva by Paula Boomer. Why am I so bad at this today? I'm a space cadet. I apologize. But I started listening to that. I want to say I'm maybe like 15% in, so not super far. It is a lot more gritty than I anticipated. I mean, one of the first scenes is Aoife coming into contact with some skinheads with like Nazi tattoos, who are like drunk and just like they're kind of taunting her. And so that was like some of the first scenes you have, and is painting this kind of interesting picture of Eastern Berlin, like 4 years, I think they said, after the wall. So you're getting through Aoife a lot of memories of like World War II and that experience, and living in like East Berlin with the Berlin Wall. And I think her daughter makes some comment that the only person that doesn't like East Berlin after the fall of the wall is Aoife, which is interesting. But yeah, she's I don't want to say pitiful, but there's something really, really bleak and sad about her sort of situation. She has a lover, but he's married and she hasn't seen him in 6 months, and like it doesn't seem like she has a great relationship with her daughter. She hasn't been working for a long time, and just kind of all of this stuff. But she has heard that her beloved niece from the US is coming to see her. So that's where I am with that. Hopefully I'll listen to a little bit more of it this evening. But right now, all I want to do is open a really, really cold can of Coca-Cola, sit on my couch, and do absolutely nothing for a little while. I'm wiped out. So hopefully you'll see me again this evening, but if not, we will chat later. Hi there. This is not a moving in update or even a reading update per se, but I was just eating my food, watching Netflix, and turned on this movie called A Call to Spy, which is about Winston Churchill basically deputizing civilians to work as spies in occupied France during World War II. And it's based on true stories. So I was just like, oh, this sounds up my alley. It's World War II, spies, love to see it. I wonder if Virginia Hall is going to be one of the stories that a character is based on. Lo and behold, Virginia Hall is one of the characters. And I'm so excited. If you are an OG subscriber, then you know that I read A Woman of No Importance by Sonia Purnell in 2020 and adored it. It's a biography on Virginia Hall, and she's one of these historical figures that I had never heard of, who definitely doesn't get the attention she deserves. And I always said they should make a movie out of her life. There is now a movie on her. There are other characters who I believe we're going to get introduced to, but as of 12 minutes into this movie, it's primarily focused on her and the fact that she was trying to work as a diplomat. The United States government wouldn't let her be a diplomat because she was missing part of her leg, and so now she's being recruited for this spy mission, and I am so stoked. So I felt like I had to come on and basically tell everyone. I have no idea if the movie is any good. It looks like it's just been added to Netflix in the US, but I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it, and then I'm gonna switch over to Peaky Blinders and have some ice cream. But yeah, that's my update for now. I will probably talk with you again tomorrow because Netflix has my full and undivided attention for the foreseeable future. Good morning from a very, very sleepy Brittany. It is Tuesday, July 5th, and I'm not someone who sleeps in. Like, I usually wake up by like 5:15 without an alarm clock. I slept until nearly 7 this morning, so I'm exhausted. I think just the last couple weeks is finally catching up with me in terms of exhaustion. So I'm taking it as easy as I can this morning. I'm gonna sit in bed and watch some YouTube, read, and then eventually meander downstairs, because today is primarily to do with like organizing the stuff that's still in boxes and getting rid of the boxes. So the Got Junk guys who I've mentioned, they're supposed to come between 12 and 2, and what they do is, I guess they come, they look at the stuff that you want them to get rid of, give you like an estimate on how much it's gonna cost, and then if you say yes, they just take it all away. So that's gonna happen today. They have a return for UPS, which I don't know how well you can see the closet organizer. It's a freestanding one. I had bought, technically I've gone through 3. One I bought, which was supposed to be mounted to the wall, but that didn't work out so well because of the material behind the wall. So then I got another freestanding one from Amazon, which came with no instructions and no hardware. So UPS is supposed to pick that up today between like 10:30 and I think 5:30. So I have that downstairs, but I do need to move it outside. And then what else? And then it's just, I'm gonna try to move some stuff that's meant to go into the attic, and maybe try to organize the guest bedroom a little bit. As I've said before, it is very much a dumping ground right now. A lot of that stuff will end up in the office, but for now, until the washer dryer that I showed you is out of there, I can't really do much with that room. So that's gonna be like a weekend project. Hopefully they come on the earlier side on Friday, and then like Saturday I can just devote to getting that room in order, because I do go back to work on Monday, and it would be nice, like, even though I know I could technically work from here in my bedroom or in the office or even in the kitchen, it would be nice to be able to actually use the office for the purpose of an office. So, you know, kind of would be nice. Anywho, that's where things stand currently. I also think I didn't sleep well because fireworks. I am not a Debbie Downer, but I hate that people just buy fireworks and shoot them off. And they're not like little fireworks, they're like big fireworks. And so there were a couple times late last night where I was like half asleep, like dozing off, and all of a sudden you'd hear like this big boom that almost sounds like a car backfiring or something, and it's just someone letting off fireworks. So I don't think that helped the situation with my exhaustion either. But anyway, that's where things are right now. I'm going to relax in bed, and then I'll start being productive in maybe an hour or so. There's no rush. The UPS person won't be here till sometime between after 10:30. The Got Junk guys noon, so I can have a lazy morning. Yay. Hello, checking in. The Got Junk guys came, were gone within like, I want to say 20 to 30 minutes, and I now can do this in the dining room area. Woo, sorry for anyone that I just made dizzy, including myself. But yes, all the boxes are gone. I have access to this window, which is going to be my next project, because what I want to do is to give myself a little bit of privacy is put, the frosted film on these. So I'm going to try it, see how it goes. We did it in the bathroom to add a little bit more privacy there, even though I had blinds, but that's what I wanted to show you because I'm excited. Like, it cost way more than I thought it would, truth be told. They basically, they bring this massive, like, commercial kind of pickup truck thing with sides, and depending on how much of the real estate in the truck that you take up is how much it costs. But you know, it's a moving expense, which I had set aside money and budgeted for that, and like, it's gone, it's done. I feel much better about it. And yeah, so it'll be fine. It's fine. But haven't done any sort of reading today, although the next Joanna Lowell book did become available on Libby. It's called The Runaway Duchess, I think, and it's about Lavinia Yardley, who I think is running away from an arranged marriage situation. And now I'm like, do I start that or do I finish Tante Afa first? I don't know, because I really am tempted to just do that at some point. But for now, what I think I'm gonna do is, ooh, there's a glare. For now, what I think I'm going to do is fix myself some lunch, watch some Netflix, because I feel like I couldn't really relax while I was waiting for them to come, and then maybe kind of leisurely start working on this frosted glass thing. We'll see. Anyway, just wanted to give you an update. The boxes are gone. Yes. But anyway, so excited about that, not gonna lie, so excited. Anyway, I will chat with you later. This is some seriously interesting lighting here, but I am part of the way through doing the window, so you can see the glaze up there, no glaze up there. So that is what I'm working on for this afternoon. Literally the most difficult part is getting the film off the back of the frost. So I'm working on that and listening to Tante Afa, just because I feel like I should finish a book before I start another book. That's how I end up not finishing things. So that's what I'm gonna do. I do like that Afa is an older protagonist. Like, I do like that. That's something that I wish there was more representation of in fiction in general, because I do feel like every main protagonist is like either in their teens or like maybe mid-30s, and mid-30s is pushing it. It's like most of the time books don't take into account that there are older people who live their lives and do shit. So yeah, so I'm listening to that. I like that aspect of it. As I mentioned already, it does seem really gritty to me, and like there's been like sex talk and sexual content, which I wouldn't say is like super explicit, but it also doesn't mince words. And there's definitely been some self-love taking place as well. Afa is waiting for her niece at this point to come and visit her and stay with her for potentially a year, and it seems like even though the wall fell several years earlier, she's still struggling with the fact that the wall has fallen, and she's really missing some of that. Like, she admits that certain things are easier, like getting the Nina Simone record that she wants, or like going to church, but then she also talks about how like when the wall was up, like there was no, like everyone had to have a job, so the skinheads wouldn't have existed because fascism was outlawed and all this stuff. And it's interesting just to see someone who is so indoctrinated, partly because of, I think, just age and circumstance. So it's interesting to hear her kind of talking about what's good, what's bad, about the system in which she is currently living. So I'm gonna continue listening to that. I'm about a quarter of the way through the audiobook now. So I'm going to continue glazing the window. I hope I have enough of the glaze because I just am basically using what was left over from when I did the bathroom. And yeah, we're gonna try to do this. If I can't finish it today, then I'll have to like order or go pick up from Home Depot, but that's part of why I took this week off, to do things like this. So yeah, that's it for now. I will check in at a later point. Hi there. We are sitting in my car outside of Home Depot because I'm here to get paint, weed be gone, or some sort of weed killer, and more of that frosted window thingy majigger. You know, I lived in the town with my family since the time I was 4, so I knew it like the back of my hand. I do not know this area, even though it's only about an hour away from my parents. So basically, anytime I go somewhere, I get lost. And yeah, that happened when I went to a supermarket on Saturday, and it happened with me getting here. I end up like not taking or missing a turn and then going down all these windy residential roads to get to my destination. And the reason I came here was because this Home Depot is like 2 miles away from my house, and so like an 8 to 10 minute drive, give or take, because of all the traffic lights and things. And the one that I do know is about 20 minutes away and about 7 to 10 miles away. So this just seemed closer and like the better bet, but I ended up taking probably just as long to get here this time around. So yeah, but I'm gonna go in. I have the 2 color matches for the living room and my bedroom. I need the weed stuff just because I don't really have grass right now. My 2 little patches of earth are just overgrown with weeds, and I feel like if I do that, at least it'll tamp them down a little bit until I can get like a weed whacker or a lawnmower or something, or make Dad deal with it. And then you saw me yesterday frosting the window, so I need to go do that. But I figured I'd check in. I will check in again once I'm home, because I read a little bit more of that Tante Eva book yesterday and I haven't given you an update. So yeah, that's me. We're going into Home Depot now. It is just before 9 a.m. in the morning, so good morning. Hello there. I am obviously back home. Home Depot was partly successful, partly not. So I ended up getting the 2 paint colors. I got the weed killer. I got a light bulb actually for a light that's supposed to be delivered, I think, this weekend. My company, as a congratulations, got me like a Bed Bath & Beyond gift certificate, so I used that to buy like a floor lamp that I wanted for the living room. But even though online it said they had the film in stock, they did not. So I just came home and ordered it so that it should hopefully get here by Friday, which means I can't finish that today, which was gonna be my morning project. So what I might do is, after I eat breakfast, which I made myself a bowl of cereal, which nearly spilled over, with strawberries and bananas. Once I eat that, I might maybe try to do the weed killer thing, or at least like test a patch of the yard and see how that goes, because it's not super warm right now. So it might be one of the few opportunities that I have to do it. But in other news, when it comes to reading, because that is why you follow booktubers, not for their house stuff, I am just over 50% of the way with Tante Eva The niece has arrived in Berlin, and it's weird. I mean, hearing how Aoife kind of interacts and thinks about other people, especially her lover Hansi, who is definitely more on the abusive side than not. He is verbally abusive. He has struck her as well. It's interesting to see her clinging to him kind of in the same way that she's also still clinging to the good old days before Berlin Wall fell. And her niece is very like modern and American, and seeing her interact with her niece and also seeing her interact with her daughter as well. You're getting a lot of insights too into the family dynamics, which are interesting because basically the only characters that you really see a ton of within this family are women, or you hear a ton about. So there's Liesel, who is Aoife's sister, then there's Elena, and there's Maggie, and so seeing all of those relationships is fascinating, but also seeing sort of the dynamics years ago when Aoife was younger, when her sister was younger, and hearing about that all, and it was not pleasant, like, living circumstances, to say the least. So a lot going on. I'm still kind of not entirely sure what the intent of the plot is. Like, it's definitely not a plot-driven book. It's definitely more character-driven, which is my cup of tea. But I still don't understand what is meant to be the end point, if that makes sense. Like, I don't understand what we're building towards quite yet, which might be fine, but it does beg some questions there. But yeah, depending on the situation with the yard, I might finish it today. It really is just depending, because I can't listen to it while I'm editing, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I think at this point I'm going to end the vlog here because I know it's become a long one, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I've definitely enjoyed vlogging from different parts of the house more than in my other vlogs, where I tend to just be like sitting in a spot in my parents' house in my one room. So hopefully you'll see more of that. Hopefully if you like this sort of content about the house, you'll hear a little bit more about that in vlogs as well, because this is going to be a big part of my life for the foreseeable future. So we'll see. But thank you so much for watching. Glad to be back. Hopefully this will begin the reestablishment of my regular posting schedule, which was twice a week on Thursdays and Sundays. So I'm trying to get back to that point because I've missed you guys. I've missed filming, I've missed talking about books, and now that I'm kind of here, there's no reason I can't. So thank you so much for your patience, and I'll see you next time.